First thing we need to do is we need to go into main, and first thing we need to do is we need to simulate this bad boy. So let's start this thing on simulate and see if it even compiles. I'm betting it will, though. This is all simple logic. This isn't hard stuff. It's really just wrapping your brain around the process. But these are the same controls we used in every other program, so it's not like we've got really hard, tricky stuff going on, right? Let's select where this thing's supposed to be. Sometimes it makes me search for it. And, oh, come on, don't act like there's not a simulator right there in front of me. I know it's there. You're not going to convince me otherwise. All right, compile, compile, compile. Come on, you love my programming, you know it. My code is good, it's the best you've ever seen. Come on. Come on, show me the money. Man, do I really have that much code in here that it takes 20 minutes to compile the thing? Come on. Check, check. Oh, look at that. 4 hour meters coded and it compiles on first go. Well, will you look at that. Hey, I have at least learned to program for this course. I don't know if you did or not, but I at least learned how to program. Let's start that module. Get on in there. Okay, so we're in main, and let's throw this thing into monitoring. Get rid of that junk down there and make sure that we're in ladders. Why, yes we are. How convenient. Let's go into our watch table. I hate to do it, but it's one place where we can see everything all at once. And let's pull that guy up. And we were looking at a whole bunch of junk when we were going through sequence. We're not going to look at as much junk, but we're still going to look at probably a lot of junk. So let's delete all that. Boy, is it really taking that long to just delete some stuff from a watch table? I don't want to sound like a cynic who's just got it in for Siemens software, but I mean, this stuff could really use some optimization. Sorry. Okay, we want to check for idle mode. We want to check for warm-up mode, generation mode, cool down mode, and fault mode. And let's go ahead and go online. So we can already see that we're in fault mode. That's a real bummer, and it's probably because our e-stop is off. Yes, it is. So we're going to need an alarm reset to deal with that. And for starters, let's go ahead and set our restop or our e-stop. So let's send that value in. Done. Get me out of that. And our alarm reset, let's go ahead and reset that alarm. Done. And set that back to false. Okay, my finger's off the button. E-stop is on. We still have a fault. Let me guess. I've got to go through and I've got to set all my freaking settings and everything to get things running again. Well, that's hardly exciting. But what are you going to do? Actually, what am I going to do? I could force this thing into generate mode, maybe. Let's see if that works. That's kind of a cheap way to test it, but I'd really rather not go and just set this whole thing up again. So, generation mode and true. And let's just see if I can just force that. Good. Okay, I'm in generation mode as far as our hour meter cares. And let's just delete all the rest of this crap. It can be in whatever error mode it wants. And I'm going to look for hour meter minutes, hour meter hours, and hour meter days. And all of those are 0, but I would expect that somewhere in some logic right in here, there are some seconds being accumulated. So let's come and check and look at that. 36, 37, we are accumulating seconds. And we should see those start to pop up as minutes here in another 14 seconds, and then we should see those start to pop up as days and everything else. So yay for that. And I'm going to jump over into my watch table just to see. Sure enough, we've got 1 minute there. And I'm going to go ahead and push, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and push 59 minutes into here, and I'm going to push 23 hours into here. So let's push those values. And now, why didn't those values go when I tried to push them? That's really bananas. Oh, probably because the counters are managing those, so it won't let me push them in through here. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back into our hour meter. Man, where did that thing go? I was just looking at it. Here it is. No? Fine, let's go the hard way. Let's click it over here. Okay, so now we're back in there, and let's see, I guess there's not a way to cheat the hour meter, so we're just going to have to trust that if this counter is working and we use the exact same logic on the rest of them, that stuff's going to work as well. So in that case, I'm just going to go ahead and check and see if I can reset the hour meter. So reset hour meter push button, and here's what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to send in a true, and then I'm going to take it right back out. So there's the true, and now I'm sending in a false, and look at that, we did not reset. We shouldn't have. Now I'm going to leave it for 10 seconds, and we should see that 2 disappear. And come on, it's been, we don't want to see a 3. Ah, there we go. Okay, we did. We reset back to 0. So I'm going to call that first hour meter right there, I'm going to call that working. And we're out of here. And let's go ahead and go back to main and put ourselves in our next paradigm. So now our programming language is going to be 2. And oh man, I hit the wrong thing in the wrong place again, didn't I? This is what I needed to change. So yeah, let's change programming language int to 2. Now we're in our function block hour meter. So we could go in here and play, but let's just deal with the watch table. And whoa, look at that. Our minutes are going crazy. And we've got some timer management issues going on up in that guy. So let's go in there and go online, and let's see what we screwed up. Here we go. It just took a while to load. And what's going on here? We're supposed to be counting our minute down, and it says our minute down is false. So why are we counting so fast and furious? Because I've got 60 milliseconds in here for the preset. All right, let's. Why don't we go ahead and make that not 60 ms but 60 s? You think that might make a difference? Cool, I like that. Okay, so load it, and let's go back to our watch table. First of all, yeah, we can see that that thing's timing normally now, and well, we definitely know those counters work. And let's go ahead and do our test on sending in a reset and taking it back out within 10 seconds. Nothing reset. So let's send it in and leave it there for 10 seconds, and hopefully that 20 and that 19 go back to 0. And 3, 2, 1, bang! Yes, they did. Okay, so let's go ahead and send a false in on that, and I'm just going to delete these override values here because I'm not messing with them right now. Housekeeping. Let's go into main, and let's set our programming language to 3. I'm going to call our first 2 hour meters working, and let's see about our third one. So we're in SCL. We should be timing. It should take a minute before something shows up. We are in generation mode. Let's just go into SCL. Well, there's no point in going in there. We know we're not going to get to see anything really happening anyway. So, what can we really do but just, sit out here and stare lamely at this stupid watch table and wait for a minute to go by and just twiddle our thumbs while it does, hoping that we're not just waiting in vain because the code is borked or something like that. I don't know if it's been a minute yet or not, but if I have to troubleshoot this, what I'll do is I'll change that timer and I'll set it to like milliseconds or something like that so we can see some action happening. Well, I'm not seeing anything yet, and I would have expected it to already have gone by. Whoops, I don't want to go into there. So, well, yeah, let's go into here. And I would have expected something already, so let's go ahead and get that out of our way, get this out of our way, and try and figure out what's happening. So if generation, we should be timing, and yeah, going online doesn't really do anything for us. That's kind of a bummer, isn't it? So we're looking for 60 seconds to expire if we're in generation mode. And what's our RTO timer reset? Let's go down here and see where we're calling that. RTO timer resets based on a minute timing down and the hour meter trigger. And okay, so we're not doing that. We should be accumulating. Oh, I see what. No, I don't. If minute timed down, then we reset the timer. And then we look at our counter here, and we should be counting up on the minute timed down. And yeah, everything in here looks solid. Let's go back to main and just make sure that I've actually got a call in on that. What on earth did I push to get this? Let's try that again. Double click on main. Okay, there. Yep, our hour meter is being called. Go back to our watch table. Oh, I guess we were just impatient. It wasn't a minute yet. Look, things are working after all. Yay. Okay, let's continue with our test. Set the reset push button to true and send it in, and send in a false real quick. And yeah, it kept timing, so that's a good thing. Let's send that in and let's leave it in for 10 seconds, and that 3 should become a 0. And then we're going to our last hour meter. We're going to test it, get out of here, and go eat chocolate chip cookies and milk, baby. Yeah, okay. So we're out of there. Let's go back to main. And our programming language is our favorite, number 4. And sure enough, our hour meter is being called. Let's go to the watch table. Generation mode is still true. And if we go into this one, we can actually see something when we monitor. So here we go. Look at that. We can see some time happening. Oh, baby, we like that. So this thing is at least timing. And as long as we get 1 minute, I think we know that it's the same logic for all those counters, so it's going to flow down. That's not to say I might have a bad tag in there or something like that. It's just to say that I'm not going to sit here and, play with this thing for hours and try and make sure everything's just flawless. I just want to make sure the thing's basically working. And so far, I'm pretty happy with everything I've seen, with the exception of one, silly little thing where I typed in milliseconds instead of minutes or seconds or something like that. We haven't had any bugs yet. So look at that. We've got 1 in our hour meter minutes. So this guy seems to be working. Let's just test our resets. We know our hour meter, actually our retentive timer, we saw that it reset when it was supposed to, so that's even impressive. Let's send in this true. send in a false, and sure enough, we didn't reset our 1 there, but if we leave it for 10 seconds, we can call this thing finished. So we are like 8 seconds away from glory right now, and I'm about to jump up and down and do a silly dance if that thing goes to 0. And come on, baby, don't let me down. Not in my hour of need. Oh, come on, what's happening? It's not resetting. No, tell me it ain't so. Look at that, we've got a bug. Oh, man. Oh, and to add insult to injury, look at that. We've got a 2 on there now. What's going on, man? Okay, the reset hour meter push button is set, so we should be jumping to reset hour meter instead of timing. Why are we doing this? Oh, because we've got to jump to the RTO before we're even evaluating that. So we've just basically got to switch these things around. Okay, so let's Control X and snatch all that. Control V and throw it up there. And man, I think I just janked some stuff I wasn't supposed to. So let's undo all that. And yeah, okay, I was bad. I just want these 3 lines right here. And that's it. And what about my reset? I think I want my... Let's stop. Let's think about this here. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to snatch all of this with a Control X and come up here and just paste all that in and give ourselves another clear. Man, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on, right there, and give me a clear. Okay, so now I'm first starting off by checking my hour meter reset, and then I'm jumping straight to reset hour meter if that button's being pushed. And otherwise, I'm resetting my push button timer, clear, and now I'm checking to see if I'm in generation mode. Okay, I think that's what I did wrong. Not a big deal. I can live with that. If that's my only error, I can live with that. I'm not going to be difficult about this. And okay, our button's already down, and in a couple of seconds we should see that 4 go back to a 0 if I did this right. And come on now, it's been more than 4 seconds. Let's push in a 0. Ah, okay, well it disappeared now. That's weird. Did I screw that up? Let's go back in there. That's not the hour meter I want to look at. Let's close that garbage. Here's the hour meter I want to look at. Let's get rid of this junk on the bottom. So, all right, are we timing? No, we're not, and we should be. So the first thing we're looking for is reset hour meter. We're not getting it, so we're resetting. Are we resetting the right timer? We're resetting timer 44. And where is timer 44? Man, I don't... Oh, okay. No, that's not it. Where on earth is timer 44? Maybe that's down here and it's just hidden behind all this. Yeah. Okay, that's our timer 44. We're resetting that. We want to be resetting that. Okay. So why are we getting a jump conditional here? We're looking for and reset hour meter push button. That's a 0, but we're evaluating this as a 1, and it seems like we're jumping. And jumping down here to reset hour meter, and no, that's not happening. So, okay, why aren't we timing? We're looking to see if we're in generation mode. Are we not in generation mode? Yes, we are in generation mode. What happens if we falsify that? So let's false that up, come back in here, and I think I see what's happening. Once we set our hour meter reset trigger, so we're setting that hour meter reset trigger here, and we're not resetting it. So once we get down to here, that's what we need to do. So we need to clear out, and we need to say not, and then we need to say equals, and that's going to be our reset or Hourmeter reset trigger. Okay, so there we go. Now, and actually, let's just, I think we can just clear not, and then we can do a reset on that. So basically set it to 0. I think that reset trigger was getting stuck. So let's try this again. Go to our watch table, generation mode. Let's put us in, and let's go back to this Hourmeter. And sure enough, it's timing like it's supposed to. And we're going to wait till we've got 1 minute on here, and then we're going to try to reset this thing. But actually, I don't even think I need to, because I can look at that time right there to see if that resets. And we already saw before that everything else got reset. It just stayed reset. So I'm going to push in a true and then push in a false. And let's go back and see. Yep, 39, 40, it's still going. So let's come in here, push in a true, and then go back and watch it. So 46, oh, actually no, it completely stopped while I'm pushing this button down. And then after 10 seconds, I'm guessing it's going to do its reset, but it's not evaluating this, and we need it to still be evaluating some of the stuff in RTO timer. So that's our problem. Once again, we've got bad flow going through here. Man, I have a problem with that, don't I? Okay, first things first, let's go back here and set this to false. And as soon as I do, I bet everything reset, didn't it? Let's go back and look. Yep, sure enough, everything resets at the end. I'm going to leave that there. That's good. And let's come back in here and let's see if we can get this thing fixed. Okay, if we have the reset push button, then we're jumping to Hourmeter, and we're skipping all of this time. Well, we don't want to skip all of that time, I guess. So let's Control X, and let's just, what are we going to jump for? If we are in generation mode, we're going to go to RTO timer. Otherwise, we're going to jump to the end. We do still want to do that. And when we get to the end, this is where we're going to reset Hourmeter. So we will reset Hourmeter here, and then let's steal this block from there, and let's put this in right below. And then boy, calling this end of line doesn't really make a lot of sense, so we're going to call this PB, we're going to call this reset evaluate. Alright, and copy that, and ooh, actually I do still want end of line, so let's copy that and bring that down here. So this is going to be my end of line, and my reset evaluate is going to be this right here. So when I jump to reset evaluate, I'm going to come here and I'm going to see if my push button's pushed. If it is, I'm resetting, then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to time. If I'm not timing, then I'm going to come down here to end of line, and I've got a reset up here that's no longer working. So let's get that out of here, and let's just, I can even get rid of that clear. Let's get that back to the top line. And I need to put my reset in here. So I'm going to check and say if my push button is pushed, then I'm going to jump conditionally here, So right here, I'm jumping conditionally to reset hour meter, but if I don't jump to reset hour meter, I'm going to need to reset my timer and then jump unconditionally to end of line. Ha! I feel good about that. Let's save it. You can see I hate STL. You can see why, right? I hate it. My brain just does not think in this paradigm. Okay, back to our watch table. We're generating. So let's come back in here and see if we're timing. We've already got 52 seconds. So we would hope to see a minute popping up somewhere. Actually, we've already got 3 minutes here. And now we just got 4. Okay. So things are working. Let's send in a quick true. And then we're going to send in a false. All right, let's go back in there. And we did not reset anything. And it looks like this timer right here isn't timing. So that's a good thing. And now let's just punch this up to true. Give it 10 seconds. And see what happens. That 4 should disappear. And 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yes! You saw it. I saw it. That thing did reset. Nice. Let's go back in here. And sure enough, our timer is timing again. Everything got wiped. And the one thing is, it looks like this timer right here still has 10 seconds of accumulated time on it. So why is that? We're coming down here to reset evaluate, and we're jumping conditionally on the push button, and I don't still have that push button down, so I should be coming down here and resetting my timer. And maybe that timer is just not evaluating, so it's not able to reset. And if it doesn't, I already know how to fix it. So let's test and make sure that there's still a 10-second delay on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that 1 should turn into a 0. Yes. Okay, well, I thought I saw a problem. I didn't really see a problem, so yay, I don't have to solve that problem.